Hello everyone, welcome back to another retro review. Today we have AVP Requiem Wolf. This is the Cleaner Kit 2.0 from Hot Toys, obviously. Another one of my favorites in the collection I have. I love Wolf as a character. I'm not a fan of the movie, but the bits that involve Wolf are obviously the standouts. They're obviously the best parts of that movie. It would be the only reason I would ever rewatch that. Actually, come to think of it, I think there's like a fan edition that people have done on YouTube where they've cut all the shit teenage scenes and it's just Wolf. That fan edit's pretty good. I think it only adds up to like 10 or 15 minutes long because that's how much screen time Wolf gets in that movie. But again, that 10-15 minutes that he is in the movie is by far the best. Wasn't a fan of the first movie that much, the whole pyramid chamber thing in Antarctica. I wasn't a massive fan of that one. I think it defeats the purpose of the Predator. You know, they're supposed to hunt in heat. They're attracted to it. So it wouldn't really make big sense for them to have been in Antarctica. But again, that's just my opinion on those two movies. I love the second movie only because of Wolf, and Hot Toys here have represented him as good as they can. I think they've done a pretty good job, to be honest. The accessories are top notch. I don't have all of them on hand. They're actually, most of them back in the box, and I throw that back up on the roof, so that's a bit difficult getting down. But he's pretty much decked out with all the weapons on him, as much as I possibly could throw on him now. And it's funny because I think this also goes neck and neck with some DX figures today. I actually think it comes with more of a package deal than DXs today, and that's why I've kind of feel like Hot Toys should abandon the DX line. Just because, again, you don't really get anything as big as this and older characters. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let him spin a couple more times on the turntable, and we'll get more closer up to the details and the movie accuracy. So if you guys do enjoy this, make sure you like and sub, and we'll get right into it. So this is Wolf, basically his head sculpt. I always loved his Boi-Mask. It was very unique when it came to his design. You know, the spikes on top of the head, the kind of hieroglyphic style engravings on the actual forehead piece. It's kind of a mix of City Hunter, because I'm looking on the side of my collection. Yeah, it looks like City Hunter's design, maybe just a bit more elongated. Yeah, I'd say City Hunter. So yeah, obviously his Boi-Mask is pretty unique. I might zoom in just a touch more. Just a little bit more. And maybe like that. So yeah, his Boi-Mask has a lot of the hieroglyphs and the spikes. Obviously the visors are honeycombed. Something that the classic Predator, which I done a retro review on the classic Predator, I'll leave it down below if you guys want to check that one out. But the classic Predator missed the tubing that he ripped out from the end of the first movie to fight Arnie to take the mask off. This one obviously has it here, but there's a bit of an issue that I think a couple of people had with installing that into the back. And I'll spin him around and I'll show you a bit more in depth of how I actually got around with that problem. Also, another problem with this one was the actual shoulder gun, the plasma caster. I think it was this one. This one was removable because obviously in the movie Wolf tears both of them apart and like creates a pistol out of them. But This one in particular, I think it's this one. I'll spin him around to double check later on. But this one could never pop on properly. There was a lot of an issue with trying to peg that in with some collectors, and I also had to kind of get around doing it with mine to try and actually keep it permanently in. But other than that, and I think for a lot of people they're big problems, but for me, because I kind of tweaked it and got around with it, I'm fine with it. So here's the actual back of the figure, and I spun him around because I wanted to show that what I meant with the Boi-Mask and the tubing. So in the first movie, and then obviously this movie, the Yautjas have the tubes in the Boi-Mask, which I assume is something to make it easier for them to breathe in our atmosphere. I'm not 100% sure. I forgot what their use was, but obviously they have this and the classic Predator didn't have it. So that's a bit inaccurate. But to be fair, the classic Predator was based on Predators, and that Yautja was crucified on an Elseworld planet, so I wouldn't really need these tubings. But I'm probably going too ahead of myself, but a lot of collectors had, I'll just turn it just a little bit. A lot of people had a problem of plugging these tubes in, and I did too when I first got this, because I bought this, well, this is actually the last figure I ever pre-ordered, which is kind of interesting when I come to think of it. I've never pre-ordered another Hot Toys after this. It was this and Matrix and Neo. I think they came out at the same time. Yeah, these are the last two figures I actually pre-ordered, because I think this one and Neo both actually sold out on pre-order. And that was back when pre-orders were a big deal. Nowadays you don't have to do that because they overproduce so much. But yeah, that's interesting. I just remember that. But going back to the tubing, you can just see holes here where it should plug into the back, and a lot of people, again including myself, had this problem where the actual tubing was too big for the hole. So what I had to do was I just grabbed a sewing needle that was, the correct size to fit that in, and I just wedged it and pried it open just a little bit. So it's not wrecked. It's just I pried it open a little bit to fit these in, and obviously you got these. They're perfectly in now, and there's nothing wrong with them. Now, I don't think it's that plasma caster, so I might spin him around. Yes, it's this one, okay, because I can see the seam line on the bottom. So another problem people had was this peg. It pegs into the back. The other one's permanently stayed in, but this one pegs in. I think it would have been smart to just have them both permanently in, but this one had a struggle where if you pushed it in, it popped out. And I actually think I got a hairdryer on this, and I hair dried the soft plastic that this part attaches on. I think that's what I did, because obviously it's in now, and a lot of people, if you move it and bend it and tap on it, it pops out, it shoots out and just drops. So I think I did heat this up and just carefully, but with a little friction, roughed it in, and now it's permanently in. This is my definitive look to Wolf anyway, so I would never really take it out and have him hold the pistol. But just turning him around just one more time, just to get a bit of a zoom up here of the head sculpt, and the jewelry as well. Something that, again, the classic Predator from Predators was missing. It's accurate to that movie, but I love the Jungle Hunter, so I wanted Hot Toys to at least throw some Jungle Hunter accessories for that. But what I'll do now is, because I got him zoomed into the Boi-Mask, I'll throw up screen shots and behind the scenes photos of the Boi-Mask itself. I might as well throw the shoulder cannons up as well. You know what? I might as well go all out and just do the upper torso. So the shoulder blades here, chest piece is pretty unique as well compared to Predator 2 and 1. Just a little caution as well. The articulation is a little bit limited with all the Predators because of these tubings on this side. On that side, you got a little bit more freedom, but here, I wouldn't be too wild with your posing. Also, another problem, and I just saw that now because I just felt that. This part here, you can just see it. It's a dark pleather material, and I'm not a fan of that. And I'm kind of confused why they've done this little bit here, pleather, when you've got the bit here, the brown strap here, and the sash. They're all sculpted plastic. So I'm kind of confused why they went plastic here and this little strap is pleather. Luckily it hasn't deteriorated, but it does feel, and I've worked with a lot of pleather and kind of customized myself around a lot of other Hot Toy figures, so I know the stage of its deterioration. This is starting to feel rubbery, and for people that have Hot Toys pleather, that's the start of deterioration. It's going to start peeling pretty soon. I might just end up maybe just replacing a brown fabric for that, as it should be. Again, I don't know why they keep doing pleather. Even for this time, this was 2017, I think. I think they should have scrapped pleather already. But again, Hot Toys still haven't learned because they're doing pleather still to this day. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom out a bit and go to the torso, and we'll get the accuracy from there. So we've got the torso here, and I wanted to zoom in pretty, close up to him because Wolf, again, is very unique where he's got a lot of stuff going for him. So you got the sash here, which is pretty unique with the Predators that I have. It kind of reminds me of Predator 2 with the little bag that City Hunter has, but obviously this one's way different where it's actually got like, I forgot what these were. These were kind of like frisbee grenades or type of bombs, if I remember correctly. Again, I haven't watched the movie in a while, and it's not the best movie to look back on, but I do love the design of Wolf. I think they are some kind of mines or bombs. Also, the computer, the wrist computer gauntlet types thing, I forgot what it's called, is very different to the other ones as well. It's got a lot of different texturing here. Again, it hones back to that hieroglyphic style. And when you open it up, I love when Hot Toys do this, where you don't need a light function to actually have this thing illuminated. Like they've painted it instead of, forcing you to throw a battery in it. I don't think this Predator actually has batteries, if I remember correctly. I think they kind of stopped doing it with this. This is the last one they made as well, which is kind of disappointing. I would like to see them go back to it. Might as well go a little bit back to see the massive combi stick. This is all plastic. It's a little bit bendy. It's not too bad. I would have loved if it was die cast. Because the one positive thing with these Hot Toy Predators is all the joints are so stiff and they're like a brick. I reckon this Predator could have held a lot of die-cast materials. So it's a bit of a shame that this didn't come out die-cast, but I kind of understand Hot Toys' part in doing it because it's probably easier to manufacture soft plastic like this instead of, die-cast metal. Also, the coloring is very unique for Wolf. Wolf is not like the Jungle Hunter, where Jungle Hunter was representing a peeling banana. Also, the Elder from Predator 2, it's the same suit. City Hunter resembles a type of winter lion. I knew I screwed it. It's a winter tiger, not a lion. Tigers are the ones that lived in winter, not lions. But yeah, that kind of lion-esque tiger pattern is what the City Hunter represents. This is a bit different. This is a lot of blacks and straight out green. While again, like I said, the other Predators have had a different color design. Also, Studio ADI was a part of this design. Also, Prey, they did. They done the Feral Predator for Prey, and they done the previous 2 Predators from the previous AVP movie. I think they might have done Shane Black's shit show movie as well. I don't remember. I'm guessing they did. But I think this one and Feral are the best ones Studio ADI have done. And like I said, the proportions here look pretty much identical to Kevin Peter Hall in the suit. And again, I really, really like that. Like I said, this comes with a lot of accessories, and I keep hitting that damn combi stick. Before I spin around, these wrist blades, I might push this a bit back. The wrist blades are real die-cast metal, and they are sharp, so I would be careful if you're new to Predator collecting. And these ones are different from the classic Predator review that I did, where these don't push in. These have interchangeable sizes, and I'm not really the biggest fan. I think I liked the design of the retracting and extending better than you have to rip this whole thing out to put a smaller one in. I don't really like that, but you know, I did it once and I've never touched it again. You can see a lot of different stuff on him. So on the belt, he's got more gadgets. I'll go down to the base because he is holding the Xenomorph spine. He's obviously got the tube there. It's a little capsule, a little liquid he uses to disintegrate the Xenomorphs. Kind of like getting rid of a crime scene. Wolf, as well, was based on Pulp Fiction. Obviously, Bruce Willis's character. So, Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction was kind of like Wolf. And that's where the terminology got from. I might as well spin around because I actually do remember a little bit of an inaccuracy revolving the actual cleaner kit. So, the cleaner kit is here, and the med pack is here. If I remember, the med pack is... Let me see if it actually does detach. So, the med pack does detach, but unlike the classic Predator from the original MMS, you actually can't open the med pack and get the accessories out. So I might as well put that down because it's going to be a bit struggle to put that back on. The cleaner kit though comes off and it does pull apart and you can open it. And when I go down to the base, I'll get more in depth with this. But the actual size of the cleaner kit is a bit inaccurate. And I'll show you the length of it originally from the movie. And I'll quickly like rewind and show the shot of it on the body. And it's not exactly accurate. Also, I'm not a fan of this little clip, which is supposed to hold the combi stick. Again, it's like, well, what was Hot Toys going to use? But it does look a bit out of character and out of place of that, having that there. Also, the dreadlocks. So I might zoom in just a touch bit more. The dreadlocks have held up pretty well, where, again, the classic Predator is the only one that has had that problem of discoloring. So this one, the Elder and the City Hunter have held up well with, in terms of the coloring of the locks and the beads. And again, hopefully we do get something Predator. I would love to see the Feral Predator, or even like an anniversary or some type of celebration for the original one, because it has been a while since they've done that original Predator from the 87 movie. The actual cod piece here is not soft felt like Predator, the classic Predator. Also, I'm looking at the Elder and the City Hunter. They look like they're a mix of that shit pleather and maybe fabric. but this is sculpted plastic, which is interesting. It's a bit difficult for the crotch grabber to actually latch on anything because this is so strong of a plastic. But I think that's it with the torso. I might as well just spin him one more time. I might as well pop up some screen accuracy and screen grabs of the bandolier and the chest piece here, and maybe also the combi stick and the computer detonator. So after I do that, I'll zoom down to the base where you see the pretty unique base this has and the xenomorph spine. So we've got the base here and obviously the cleaner kit, and I might as well just quickly go through the cleaner kit. So I'll just grab that now. So the cleaner kit does open up. This is very, very fragile though, and I'll be extremely cautious to play around with this. So I think this does extend, and you can see the top part just moves a little bit. I think that's as far as it goes. You can see the clip there. And you open this, and you got some devices there. And again, these are very, very small, so I want to be careful. Okay, now it doesn't want to open, does it? It does open. Okay, shit. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you can see there, just there's a little peg that pegs into that. And I think this is a problem with a lot of old Hot Toys, and maybe it's a problem with a lot of stuff they still do today. These are very, very brittle. Like, these are very thin plastic. These hinges here are very thin. I would have loved if these were somehow magnetic connected, just to again make this more of a collectible feel. This feels like a fragile toy that will break. I would much want something a bit more higher quality in the future. But here is one of the guns. Okay, that side of the floor. That's one of the cleaner stuff that this Predator uses, and they will clip into the selective spots. You've got a tube there. I think that's part of the pistol that he broke off. And yeah, I think that's about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut and put this back on the body, and we'll take a more in-depth look at the actual base itself. So we've got the base here. The base is very, very good. I love the diorama bases that are not oversized to the point of those crappy diamond things that they do. But obviously this does look really nice for a diorama display. It's small where it can fit a lot of other figures around it. It's not going to take a whole shelf of a detail or whatever you guys use. But I think the main issue, and it's the same thing that I said with the other Predator figure, is the bases are far too small and weak to hold these. Like, these Predator bodies are so heavy that these pegs are just way too wobbly. Like, you can see there, you can feel the weight stressed out on this peg. And my particular one, the stand, is a bit loose on the actual base clamp. So it's very scary pretty much to have these over dynamically posed where they might topple over, they might break, you know, who knows. This black stand might break because how heavy these guys are. But look wise, aesthetic wise, this base looks great, but functionality and actually if it actually is helping to hold this up, that's where the problem is. But overall it looks nice. I think a lot of people had a bit of an issue on the Xenomorph Blood where it doesn't look that acidy gloss color. I can see that. It is a very soft base. It's kind of got the same texture as what's a recent figure so you guys can connect with? The Justice League Deluxe with the Parademon base. It's got a similar... Yeah, it's pretty much the same as that base. So If you guys know what that parademon base feels like, it's pretty much that very soft plastic material. That's pretty much this, and it also looks pretty dull in paint. So that's what this one compares to. But I think overall that's pretty much it. Also, wait a minute, I just saw again. These thigh armors are very, well, obviously they're good, but if I turn around here, again, the same thing with that weird elbow pad up there. These are pleather material, and I don't get why they've done this, because these aren't actually holding this together. This is glued on separately, and then they've glued this as like the illusion of a strap. And again, why didn't they just do this material, plastic, around? Because it still would have gotten the point across. I don't get it why they've done that, but whatever. When it eventually rots, I'll replace it, and I'm fine with replacing it. I doubt there will be a 2.0 of this particular Predator. If anything, I hope the classic Predator, the Jungle Hunter, maybe the City Hunter, because that has a little bit of inaccuracies. I don't know if this movie was well received to get another 2.0 or 3.0, or how many they've done with this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What I'm going to do now is zoom him out, chuck him on the turntable again, and give my final thoughts. So there we have it, AVP Wolf by Hot Toys. Very nice figure, to be honest. I love this. Like, again, Predators are pretty much what got me into Hot Toy collecting, and I missed out on the other versions of this character, and I'm lucky to have been a collector to hop on this, because again, this was kind of limited, low in stock, low produced compared to other figures of that time, and obviously today's standards. But yeah, there's a little bit of problems here and there. The pleather's a bit of a disappointment. The cleaner kit here is a little bit small for its size. I think they're passable to an extent. It's more the actual shoulder cannon here. The plasma caster is a bit of an annoyance to put in, and the tubings to the back is also another problem. So this figure comes with a little bit of problems here and there, but I think appearance-wise, it's great in my opinion. But yeah, since Prey came out, I just want to see more Predator stuff from Hot Toys. You know, Predator was one of their big licenses that they got officially. And they've kind of neglected it for a while. So hopefully, maybe we get a feral Predator. I would love to see another company, maybe Queen, tackle this IP. Of course, if they can get it, because it is Disney owned. But I think they can work around it, because obviously these older movies weren't Disney owned. There might be some way to get around it to make it. Or Hot Toys just make one, you know? There will be a demand for it, you know? But yeah, overall, this figure has some issues, but I think the positives do overshadow the little minor problems of this. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure you like and sub, and I'll see you in the next one.